Hi, guys, and welcome back to another episode of Jasmine, Tosh, Lately. I am here in Georgetown, right in Washington, D.C., the nation's capital, and I could not be happier. You guys, I am in a beautiful three-story townhome at the Rosewood, D.C. This has got to be probably top two hotel stays in my entire life, in my entire career. I'm in a three-story townhome, you guys. It is absolutely beautiful. We're fancy today on this podcast. I have on my gloves because we have a fireplace. It is nice and chilly outside. My townhome is beautiful. Make sure you check out the Washington, D.C. vlog. I think I'm doing two parts, one in Virginia, but this will be in the D.C. one. I'll do a whole tour on this beautiful three-story townhome. I'm just so excited to be here. It is absolutely stunning. We have beautiful fresh flowers here. The lighting is beautiful. The town is beautiful. I'm actually going to the monuments today to vlog and take photos and see all of that. Fun fact, you guys, I actually graduated high school here in Virginia a long time ago, class of 2008, but I actually have not been back since that time. So exploring and seeing everything is like seeing it as for the first time, and I'm so excited to be here, you guys. Today's podcast topic is about my missed career opportunities and why I have no regrets. I mean, everything happens for a reason. Look where I am right now, you guys. I don't even want to know how much this townhome costs per night, especially right now during the holiday season. I can't even imagine. I'm going to have to actually Google that because for me, everything here, including the food, is completely complimentary. And that is because I work my butt off. I work 24/7. People ask me all the time, what do you do? And it's like, do you not watch the channel? Do you not see what I do? I'm always working, you guys. Like, I don't know too many people who would get this townhome completely free for 3 nights in the middle of November during the holiday season. I'm so blessed. I pray every night. I'm so thankful and I'm so happy. So I have no regrets in my career, but I did want to kind of go over some cool things that I did miss and pass on that I wanted to share with you guys. And I also wanted to get into why it's never too late to reinvent yourself or follow your dreams. My channel, the audience is a lot of women, but this podcast is for everyone. So there are a lot of women who watch my YouTube channel and subscribe to it and follow me on Instagram. And I'm so thankful for that because I am a girl's girl. And I know a lot of women who are older than me watch my channel, so please stay tuned because this podcast is for absolutely everyone. And this podcast means so much to me. It is never, ever too late to reinvent yourself, you guys. I don't care how old you are. And I wanted to start off by saying, Martha Stewart, someone I really look up to, not just because we share the last name. My grandma and I love her, and I think she's such an icon. She really did not become, famous and super rich until she was close to 50, I believe. So I think that's truly incredible. I also wanted to mention one of my favorite people ever, Estee Lauder, the OG, the Estee Lauder. That's actually not even her real name. I forget what her real name is, but I think it's Josephine. But you guys, so she started her cosmetics line. She's from Queens, New York. She's a Hungarian Jewish descendant, and she's from Queens. She started making samples of skincare in New York and, trying to get into department stores back in the 30s, 40s. And everyone said no. Everyone said, I'm sorry, we're working with big brands, you're no one, we don't want your products. So she started, this is around the time when she was 40, she started giving samples out to women, and women actually really loved her skincare products. And I just read about this online. I had no idea. Always have loved Estee Lauder, but I didn't know this about her. So basically, she started giving her samples away. Women started loving her samples. And then in 1946, Saks Fifth Avenue in New York gave her a chance and started selling her products in their store. And they started making tons of sales, and the rest of the story. It's Estee Lauder. So she only became well-known and rich and, all of that when she was close to 40 years old. She only became successful at almost 40. So that's pretty incredible. That made me so happy to read that, because I had no idea about her story. I didn't know all of those specifics. I think that is so cool. Shout out to Saks. Saks is one of my favorite stores. Maybe one day my line will be in Saks. Who knows? Maybe I'm manifesting that now, but I just wanted to share that with you guys, because I think that is absolutely incredible that, Estee Lauder worked her butt off, and around the time she was 40 years old, she became successful. So keep that in mind, you guys. It doesn't matter how old you are, and that keeps me going as well. Like, age is just a number. Keep going and follow your intuition. I also wanted to mention one more person. I just was watching the Call Her Daddy podcast, and she had Andy Cohen on. And I didn't watch the whole thing, but one thing that did stand out to me was that Andy Cohen has always worked on TV, and he mentioned he was actually applying for a job at the network that was just starting out back in the day, and it's like the gay network, and it's called, I think, Logo. And he said they didn't hire him, and he goes, he was thinking back then, why wouldn't they hire me? Like, he's gay, he's Andy Cohen, and so they didn't hire him. And then just shortly after, Bravo hired him, and then he started The Real Housewives of Orange County, and the rest of the story. So I think that is so incredible. You never know what's going to happen. So whenever you get rejected, whenever something doesn't work out, whenever, if you get fired, laid off, broken up with, just know that that is just the universe pushing you in the right direction. And that's how I look at everything. If something doesn't go right in my life, I'm just like, oh, wow, that was not for me. Something else is happening for me. And once you start thinking like that, everything changes. So that's why I have no regrets in life. And I know that I'm on the right path, and I'm just so happy. I had no idea I was getting upgraded into this beautiful 3-story townhome here in Georgetown. There are like 6 or 8 townhomes here, I think. And I have the biggest one. And it's just me and Louie, my Pomeranian. So I think that is so incredible. I think everything happens for a reason. I recently wrote down some opportunities that I passed on, and I wanted to share them with you guys. So I'm going to actually get into that right now. Please leave comments. I love responding to your comments down below. And I will try to pop up pictures and videos as I'm speaking, so you guys know exactly what I'm talking about. So first and foremost, whatever your field of work is, it's never too late to rebrand and rebuild. It's never too late to start over. I'm not just talking about people in my industry. I'm talking about if you want to be a nurse, a pilot, an entrepreneur, go ahead and get started. You have to start somewhere. I think that if you just know you're meant to do something, I think you should just tune out the noise and just kind of follow your dreams. Surely, it'll work out, but just you have to push yourself. No one else will push you. And you have to tune out the noise of other people and stop telling people, what you're going to do. Because I truly believe their energy will throw off your goals. And if people doubt you, but you believe in yourself, you might unfortunately start to believe their doubt. So don't tell people your plans, just kind of do it and build your confidence. And that's what I do. That's exactly what I'm doing. If you really pay attention to a lot of the entrepreneurs and famous icons in the world, they're even rebranding. Times have changed for sure. Evolving is a part of life. What you're not changing, you're choosing. I would like to start out by saying I did not go to college. College was not for me. I absolutely hated school. I am very smart. I have a great memory, and that's why I was able to get my real estate license and pass my test the first time. My memory is incredible. I can remember, words. It's just crazy. That's kind of why I wanted to be an actress when I was younger. But, I never pursued that. And that's another thing I wanted to get into in this podcast. But anyways, so at age 17, I actually graduated high school here in Virginia. Like I told you, I just, packed everything up and went to LA. I didn't mention it to to my mom. I didn't mention it to anybody. I just literally went to LA because I knew what I wanted to do. I knew the field and the industry I wanted to get into. I absolutely hated high school. I went to 5 different high schools. We moved around so much. I was teased so much. It was hard to make friends because every year I changed schools. One year I changed schools twice. So it's very hard to make friends when you're, in that position. And, I could sit here and blame, any problem on that. But actually that, I look at the positive side of that, and I can actually speak to anyone now. I have the confidence to approach anyone, talk to anyone, because I was thrown in such a, hard situation where I was teased and I had to make friends every single year. I was always in a different bedroom. I never had, in high school, a true home. Growing up, that was only in my childhood in LA. So my whole high school years was just moving around. But I truly believe that made me stronger. And although I did not get the college experience, I was put into the real world right away at age 17 because I graduated at age 17. So yes, I moved to LA to pursue my modeling career. Acting was so intimidating for me though. I went on one audition and I blew it, and it was just so nerve-wracking. I did not do any more acting auditions. I moved to LA. I only stayed there for 1 year because it was just so expensive. I ended up moving to Miami at age 19, as you know, and that's where I ended up and started, what I'm doing now, which was called blogging back then. So you guys know the story, but that is a whole different podcast, like being in Miami and all of that. Long story short, I learned the industry in LA. I went to auditions. I did a lot of photo shoots and test shoots that all taught me everything I know right now. I actually did background acting, which means you're very close to the main actors. You're not talking because that would be considered SAG. And that's like a whole different world. So I didn't speak, but I just was near the actors, like, for example, sitting this close to them or at a cafe or whatever. It's called like featured background acting. And when you're so young, that's actually pretty cool to do that and make money from that. So I did not ever, work retail. I always just did that. It's long hours. It's like 7-10 hour days. But like it was so weird. I don't know if it's still like this today, but you get paid cash at the end of the day, and you're on real sets. Like I was always on the lot for Warner Brothers, Fox Studios, NBC, and MTV. I was on like 2 MTV shows. I think I was on like the first episode of Glee, the very first episode, as a background actor. That was like one of my jobs. So, this was back in the day, you guys. That's how I was like making money. And it's really cool now that I think about it. It helped me build my resume. You're talking to so many different people, the crew, the bookers, you're learning a lot. So I did not get a college experience, but I was thrown into the real world. And the entertainment industry is not a joke. It's like cutthroat. So I learned so much. I don't regret that at all. It helped me become who I am today, all of those experiences. I have a very unique life, you guys. A lot of people don't know this about me. So I did not like modeling because I want to use my voice, and I feel like being a public figure, I'm able to use my voice. I'm a public figure on social media. I want to be on television, so I want to use my voice. I want to inspire people and help others. And when I was modeling, I couldn't do that. I couldn't express myself in that way. I couldn't use my creativity. I couldn't use my creative direction. And that's exactly what I do now. I'm my own director, producer, makeup artist, stylist, writer, creative director, and I'm the star of the show. And that makes me really happy and fulfilled. That's exactly what I wanted in life. Everything I learned in LA and New York City, modeling in my early 20s, led me to my destiny, which is right here, right now. Clearly, I have bigger goals, and that is just kind of, this is where I am right now. And I feel like I'm on the right path. I feel it in my soul. I realized I wanted to be some version of a TV host when I attended a Miami Swim Week event in 2015. It was for Pink by Victoria's Secret. It was like a spring break event, and they had Gigi Hadid was there, and this is exactly like right before she blew up into the famous model she is now, probably days before she blew up into a famous model. It's crazy that I met her. She was so friendly. So I was asked randomly. I attended it was called blogging back then. I attended as a blogger, influencer. And this random fashion TV channel asked me to interview Gigi. They just saw me and they were like, she looks great. Let's ask her to model these supermodels. And I was so nervous, because I was not expecting that. And honestly, I don't think I've ever interviewed anyone at that point in my life. So I took the mic and something inside of me turned on, and it was so natural to me. I just was like not nervous. I was like, Gigi's beautiful. She's so laid back. We were wearing the same bikini, just different colors, because we all had to wear, Victoria's Secret pink bikinis. It was this swim week event in Miami. So we were wearing matching outfits, you guys. And something inside of me just turned on, and I just knew I wanted to be some kind of like journalist or something, an interviewer. Something inside of me knew that's what I wanted to do, to like be on TV. I love interviewing people so much. So my boyfriend at the time recorded a video on our phone, or my phone, and it's a very old video. It's 2015, so the quality sucks. I'll try to pop it up right here on the screen if I can. And it was just such a cool experience, you guys. It just was amazing. And at the same time period, I don't know if you guys remember who Giuliana Rancic is. So in Miami Beach on Lincoln Road, they hosted a Cotton 24-hour fashion show, and I was there interviewing people, and I got to interview Giuliana Rancic, who was the host, with her husband Bill. And honestly, that was another time where I was kind of like starstruck, because I grew up watching E! News. I grew up watching E! I think, when I was younger, my destiny, I just wanted to be on the E! Network or the Bravo Network, and those are pretty much, those are the goals that I have. So these are all like experiences that are leading up to what I meant to be. This was like 2012. This is like one of my first career experiences when I first moved to Miami. Basically, the Cotton 24-hour fashion show was a 24-hour fashion show that was live streamed on MTV and E! It had 1,440 looks, all made by Cotton. It was men and women's clothing. It was held on Lincoln Road in Miami Beach, right next to 1111 Lincoln Road. And it was in partnership with Cotton and People magazine. It was a big deal. And a company hired me to just be there for a few hours and interview people, including Giuliana and Bill, who were the hosts of the show. You can Google it. It's actually pretty interesting. Again, I was not nervous, and it was one of my first jobs ever, interviewing and, being on TV. So I think that's pretty awesome. One opportunity I missed out on in 2017, which would have been really cool, was Christian Louboutin opened his flagship store in Miami at the Miami Design District, and he was there, and they asked me if I wanted to interview him. Now, in 2017, I was on a high. I was an influencer. I was traveling to Dubai and Paris for the first time ever, in London and all these cities, and I was, an influencer. That's how I saw myself, a travel blogger, fashion influencer. And that's when I really blew up, is around that time. So I passed because I didn't see myself as press or an interviewer. I wasn't ready at the time. I saw myself as a Louboutin customer, the influencer, and that's okay. Like, I wasn't ready. I was not ready to interview Mr. Louboutin at that time in my life. I didn't even have a microphone or know how to work a microphone or equipment or any of that. I didn't know I didn't know what it was like to be an interviewer back then. I still needed to grow and learn. I definitely am in another place right now. Obviously, I'm holding a microphone. I have my equipment with me. And I would never pass on that opportunity now if they asked me to do it now. I would jump at the opportunity because now I'm ready. Now it's a different time. I'm ready. And that's what I want to tell you guys. That's what I want to make known. It's okay if you weren't ready before, but it's never too late to start. So go ahead and start doing what you love to do and what your calling is. I wanted to share that with you guys. So today I would do it in a second. I have perfected my journalism techniques and I have become so much better at public speaking. Honestly, in just the last year, I've always been terrified of public speaking on camera, but just this past year, something inside of me clicked and I just feel so absolutely comfortable on camera. Maybe we are not where we want to be right now, but keep up your hard work and pursuing what you want. Keep putting in the work. We will all get to where we need to be. I truly believe that. Just put in the work. That's what keeps me going. Trust your intuition and don't let anyone talk you out of following your dreams. If your dreams don't scare you, you're too comfortable. Dream bigger. When I first started influencing in 2013, it was just for fun. It was just a hobby. I was just a broke model in Miami, going back and forth to New York City. Which I did love it. I loved what I did. I did love the experiences. I wouldn't trade it for the world. I imagined myself booking jobs with major brands and carrying designer handbags and being famous and well known. I pretty much manifested that, you guys. I pretty much have been manifesting that life for myself, and here I am right now, and I'm very proud of myself. You guys have to be proud of yourself, even if it's little steps, even if you haven't reached your goal yet, just all the little steps. Be proud of yourself. Be your biggest supporter. I will tell you that right now. I have so many haters in my life disguised as friends that I've just kind of pushed away, especially now that I've moved, I just don't talk to them anymore. I don't like people's negative energy. I can feel when people are kind of envious or jealous if I make a move. So I just stopped telling people all of my moves because I can't stand a hater. I don't trust many people. I feel like as you get older, obviously you learn that more. And that's where I am right now. So, and after years of hard work, I realized I manifested the life I have right now. Don't get me wrong, I have a lot more manifesting to do for sure, but if I sit here and look back on everything, I can say I did that. I did that. Honestly, as the years went by, I kept pushing myself. I started finding myself in rooms with majorly successful women at events, speaking panels like Serena Williams, Paris Hilton, Alessandra Ambrosio, Kendall Jenner, even entrepreneurs. And, I was getting paid to be at these events to meet these women. I still am. When I go to events, I'm getting paid to be there. I am very picky at what I attend because if it doesn't benefit me or teach me or help me help others, I really don't want to be mingling at an event just to have a cocktail. It has to mean something to me, and I definitely learned that recently. I just don't want to waste my time, honestly. So I'm going to end the podcast here. I did want to end it at a dream list of guests I would have on my podcast. I'm not going to bore you. There are some that are dead and there's some that are alive. I'm going to start with the ones that are not alive. Jackie Kennedy Onassis. I'm actually going to the DC monuments today, and I have this really cute pink cardigan, and I have these big Dior round sunglasses, and I was just thinking in my mind, I didn't plan it out that way, but it's so Jackie O. We're going to give Jackie O vibes today in honor of her. Audrey Hepburn, she is my favorite person ever. Favorite actress, but favorite person ever. Just the kindest woman, so inspiring too. She came from poverty. She is one of the most beautiful people inside and out who's ever existed. Princess Diana, obviously, she's my next favorite icon ever. Grace Kelly, I would love to interview her. Marjorie Merriweather Post, she's the former owner of Mar-a-Lago. She is also the daughter of C.W. Post. Post is the cereal brand that is everywhere. So she was heir to that. And she was such a great person. I would love to have interviewed her, honestly. There's so many stories and questions and all that fun stuff. So those are the people who are dead. Also JFK Jr. I am a huge, huge JFK Jr. fan. I just think he was so incredible. Okay, I'm going to just name off the people who are alive that I would love to interview one day. And I'll look back on this video and see if I actually do interview them at some point in my life. It'll be very cool to see myself interviewing these people. I'm just going to name off some lists, some people, and then I'll end the podcast here. I don't want to make it too long, and I do have to go out and explore DC. So here we go. Anne Hathaway, Kate Middleton, Donatella Versace, Naomi Campbell, Andy Cohen, Sarah Jessica Parker, Patricia Field, who was the stylist of Sex and the City. She's the one behind all of the outfits and the iconic pieces, like Manolo Blahnik shoes and, everything you see on the show. It was from her. I met her once. I'll pop up a picture on the screen. I met her at an event. Rosie Huntington-Whiteley, Candace Swanpool, Kylie Jenner and Kim Kardashian. I love the empires they've built. Jennifer Lopez, Ivanka Trump, one of my favorite people ever. Jessica Alba, Charlize Theron, Victoria Beckham, one of my other favorite entrepreneurs ever. Alessandra Ambrosio, who I've mentioned twice. I will be talking about her in another podcast and all about that one's going to be all about Victoria's Secret, so stay tuned for that one. So that's just my list right now. Of course, it will grow. A lot of the people are women, obviously. And I'm going to end the podcast here. I hope you guys enjoyed that. I hope I inspired you. And I'm just so excited to be here, you guys. Okay, I'm going to end it now. Thank you for watching. I love you guys so much, and I will see you on the next podcast.